30 seconds.
Don't want to do counting.
No. They can, exactly, sometimes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Nathan Anderson.
Here.
Troy Boone. Will Rolke.
Here.
Larry Rohr.
Here.
Art Schott.
Here.
Eli Seeley.
Here.
Mike Tiedemann.
Here.
Agenda was sent out. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
We have one travel request that we wanted to add on there. We got late Friday. It would be for Austin, Tony, and Marcus to go to the TLC conference in North Dakota. What's TLC? You guys remember?
Is that the end of the next?
It's going to be, they're going to be leaving on May 16th.
May 15th, they come back May 16th.
May 14th, I'm sorry.
So that'd be under the new council, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, we're traveling. Yeah, under new, yeah, you're right.
We do have one visitor to be heard. We can add that to the agenda. Mr. Kevin Jensen.
I think public forum?
Yeah, well, I just, we'll get the agenda passed.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Tiedemann, seconded to adopt the amended agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Minutes for April 15th were sent out. Is there a motion to approve the April 15th, 2024 minutes?
Make a motion to approve the April 15th, 2024 minutes.
Second.
Motion by Seeley and seconded to approve the April 15th, 2024 minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Visitors to be heard. Mr. Kevin Jensen.
Okay, I don't really want to stand there. I'll just get in the middle here and try not to turn my back to anybody. I'm Representative Kevin Jensen, and I've been a couple city council meetings recently. Change of the guard. I wanted to introduce myself. The one thing I'm running for the Senate. That's not why I'm here. Regardless of what happens in the primary, I am your representative till the end of the year. But what I'm concerned about is Senate Bill 201. So if you're on the side of the pipelines or against the pipelines and transmission lines, that's just one battle. The real battle is for Senate Bill 201 stripped the power of the counties. It took the authority of the counties away to do setbacks or control anything with pipelines or electric transmission lines. And it's a power grab that I don't think is fair and I don't think it's right. It's really, to me, it's very disturbing. We also saw a power grab this year from the governor's office, actually, to try and tell the school boards how to pay their staff, all because we had a few bad players. So often we see these laws come and go to punish somebody, and it hurts everybody. What I want you guys to know is that I served on the Rules Review Committee for 2 years. So when we pass a law, the law is just the what, and it could be one paragraph. The who, when, why, and where is all promulgated in rules. So for every rule, every paragraph of law, we can see 5-10 pages of promulgated rules. I'm very discouraged about this grab of power. But what I want you guys to know, I guess, is that a lot of us are watching this and we're paying attention. Sometimes the power grab comes from the rules review. So you might have DOT, you might have DEANR, maybe they're doing sewage discharge kind of regulations and stuff. And these things pass and they get handed down to you and you have no say about it. If you see something coming along that in rules or whatever that looks like something that you guys really should be concerned about, that it's a power grab taking your authority away. There's a group of us that are we're hawking this, we're really watching this. Local control, local control, local control. I don't know what else I can say about that. We don't want the state taking any more power away from the counties, from the townships, from the cities. So I'm easy to find. You know, myself, when you look at me up, my cell phone, I answer my phone every time it rings. If I don't, I'll call you right back. But if you see something coming down the pipe, and I don't know who the new people are that are being sworn in, but I just want everybody to know that, you know, regardless how this primary goes, I am still your representative to the end of the year. Representative John Hanson is the chair of Rules Review. He's a very good friend of mine, and I will have him. We are kind of watching this together to see if there's any more power grabs coming through rules. So that's all I got to say. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
What brought on this Senate bill? Yeah. What brought on the Senate bill? What
Senate Bill 201.
Why did they pass it, or why are they supporting it?
Well, Senate Bill 201 was basically initially took the power away from the counties because of the CO2 pipeline between Navigator and Solid Solutions. And they had kind of planned this route through the state, through certain counties. But what they were doing, especially Carbon Solid Solutions, is they were going onto people's property without permission. They were drilling. In fact, one of the farmers up in, I think it was Walworth County? I can't remember. But one of the farmers, he went out to question them as to why they were able to be on his property with the drilling rig going over his soybeans and everything. And he told them to get off. Well, so Carbon Summit Solutions got a restraining order from the judge to keep that farmer off his own land while they were doing this stuff without permission. That was kind of the impetus that really set this all off. So we've got a group on one side that want this carbon pipeline because of the economic development. The problem is the economic development primarily is for this Carbon Summit Solutions, which it's all based in tax credits, carbon credits. So that the farmers really initially were not going to gain any benefits except maybe an easement on that. Then it got really complicated. We went through a series of 13 different amendments. We ended up with an amendment M. And what they did is they labeled it the Landowner's Bill of Rights. Because that's just wordsmithing. That's just making you, who could vote against Landowner's Bill of Rights, right? Actually, what it actually did is it gives the landowners no more rights than they already have. Every landowner has the right to negotiate an easement for whatever price they want. But what it does do is it takes away their right if, let me back up a second, it takes the power of the county being able to set setbacks, depth, and route, and gives that to the PUC. So now only 3 people get to decide when that route goes through the whole state. So we can take a little step ahead. Elections have consequences. They get the right people into those seats, then they can run roughshod over the state, and the counties have no say over it anymore. But again, it doesn't do anything for the landowners that they couldn't already do it for themselves. The carbon credits are, they're federal money, that's our tax dollars, federal dollars, that borrowed money from China, that's paying companies like Carbon Summit Solutions to come in here and run this pipeline. They're collecting the CO2 from the ethanol plants, and they're going to pipe it up to North Dakota and bury it in the ground. Part of the problem is, the problem is, pipelines and public use and eminent domain, if you want to go that far to call it eminent domain, which is bordering on, is for public use. This is for a private company to run CO2, to take it to the North Dakota border and dump it in the ground. It's not a commodity, it's not for public use. But somehow, we have 34 Republicans actually vote. I call it, they voted for the Green New Deal. They're voting for, this carbon capture is all about CO2 capture. It's all about global warming. And what the problem is it removes the rights from the farmer. They're going to get paid a stipend, basically. They're going to get paid 50 cents to $1 a foot for the pipeline under their farms. But what it removes from them, and this is where, I've written some articles on this. What it removes from them is once that pipeline goes through, they don't have to say where, but it's gonna go under their land. But it removes the right for them to build anything on or near. Say they wanna build a cattle shed, they wanna build a loafing shed or something out in the pasture. They wanna build a shed for the machinery out there. Well, you can't build on or near a pipeline, so it removes the right for them to build wherever, excuse me, wherever they want on their pipe, on the ground. So that, it kind of just, a little bit of what all the problems are. I mean, I could go on for a long time, and, I know I only have a couple of minutes, but, I could literally go on for hours about this, what's wrong with it. There was 4 little words in that bill that nobody was looking at, and I was screaming on this one months ago, even in session, and electric transmission lines. As soon as that bill passed, the Swan Lake project started moving forward again. It's 97 windmills along Turkey Ridge. Farmers will have no say in where that transmission line runs underground. We have 1,000-acre solar farm starting up in the Yankton County, a 10,000-acre solar farm proposed out by Newell. They all see the green light now because the counties have no more control over the setbacks or the depth of the lines and all of that. So anyway, that's why I'm pushing against it. But I also see that there's this taste right now of grabbing power away from local control, and that's where I come in. I don't want to see that happen at the city level, township level, or the county level. Yes, sir. Mr. Shaw.
You're doing a great job. Hey, after working, man, call me here. You're doing a great job. I just got one question on this bill. Has it been appealed yet, or has it been to the Supreme Court on the state or the federal side?
Well, Senate Bill 201, it's easy to look up. Senate Bill 201 has passed, goes into effect July 1st. I'm not here to pitch for the petition. I am supporting it, but that's not why I came here. There is a petition to repeal Senate Bill 201, so that in the next session we have to readdress it. And the main issue is to address the county control. That's in my main issue. If people want the carbon, if they want the CO2 capture in the pipeline, let's work through the normal process. Let's not take the local control away. But there is a petition drive right now to repeal it. If those signatures are collected, they need 25,000 signatures. If they can collect those before the middle of June, the law will not go into effect until July 1st. It'll be stalled until November, until the general election. If it fails at the general election, then it becomes law. If it's repealed, then we fight it again next year. We take the fight on again. So thank you for the question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there's a petition drive. It's just mainly to stall it so we can readdress it. So.
Thank you for calling.
You're welcome, man. Remember, my cell phone's on my site. If you have any questions about anything else, it doesn't have to be about this issue, but any kind of questions. But like I said, no matter what happens in the primary, I'm still the rep until the end of the year. So, thank you. I'll get out of here.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
It's a little wet out there.
We have no committee reports, no department head reports, no business support date for multi-community asphalt surface treatment project.
Can I ask, Banner did bid this out, and we did get the same company that got it last year, Aztec, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
They got it last year. Looks like we got a fairly favorable bid there. We did have 2 bidders. Aztec was at $73,859.60 for the city of Beresford share. Bituminous paving was the second low bidder in that $92,000 area. Our engineer's estimate was $99,845, so they came in quite a bit lower, which is going to give us some additional room to do some additional paving this year, is what Jeff was thinking. So he's looking at some different areas that we didn't originally have in the bid. We're going to try to get those done. We did budget up to $100,000, which will include our engineering fees. So should give us about $20,000 more. So yeah, we just need a bid or motion to authorize the approval of the low bid of Aztec.
Shall I make a motion to award the bid for multi-community asphalt surface treatment project as Jerry signs?
Second.
Motion by Sean, seconded to accept the multi-community asphalt surface treatment project Aztec. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Pay request number 2 from Siteworks Inc.
We got our second request there from Siteworks. Most of what we have right now is just things that they've been purchasing. In the email we got from Banner, it's a fairly large file, so they got pictures of all the stuff that's on hand. So they're just stocking up on this, and they'll get started here real shortly. But the amount due this application is $39,826.59, and that's just site works for pay request number 2.
It was included in. It was also.
And we're looking for a motion on that one also.
So either make a motion to approve pay request number 2 for site works wastewater treatment facility project.
Second.
Motion by Stephen and seconded to approve pay request number 2, Site Works Inc. Wastewater treatment facility amount $39,826.59. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All fields updated.
Eli, I think I'll let you roll with that one.
Yeah, so Jerry and I have talked quite a bit, and so I'm communicating with Beresford Baseball Softball Association, which again is primarily working with the youth sports groups. There's also upper level softball, upper level baseball, but upper level baseball does not make use of the 60-foot base path, the new fields. Softball would potentially make use of those fields. Because of the areas that have been identified where there are some issues that need to be addressed, both through Banner and Confluence, we are going to make every effort to put a hold on any official play at the new field complex until we are completely satisfied that we won't be doing more harm this year than we would potentially be doing harm next year. Or if we can let the grass grow, especially the grass that exists in between the fields this year, become hardy enough to withstand some traffic. The one proposed tournament that was going to be at the new field complex at the end of June was going to include as many as 39 teams. 39 teams with players, parents, small kids, etc., running around would probably do some fairly significant damage, especially if we continue to have rain like we have. So communications happened with Southeast Baseball, Southeast Softball. Any potential tournaments that were being planned have been pushed off. The one tournament that we're attempting to retain is the Jack Lawrence in honor of Jack. They hold a tournament. It's usually every year on the 15th of June. This year we're going to push it back by 1 week. Make use of the former Northeast field or number 2 in the new field designation so that they can continue to have that tournament, because if that tournament even lapsed by a year, it might be one that doesn't come back. So Mr. Scott Funkseth, who works with the Lawrence family and also the Marigans who helped put that on, they understand. So they're going to have a baseball tournament this year on the 22nd of June. So we're going to review the field, make sure we can use it, because if we can't, then we'll just have to have it on a single field. So, I miss anything?
No, cover everything we talked about.
The outfield grass has done remarkably well since we looked at it 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I made the comment too that in some of those public spaces that I noticed some hardscape at the fields in Sioux Falls. Turns out that hardscape was actually base. I'd never seen pink rock as base, but they put artificial turf over it. Mm-hmm. So it's still hardscaped in a way. But, and I think Mike gave you an update on the posts for the scoreboards, did he?
Yeah. The engineers have got everything taken care of, and we've got some plans in place to get those set here as soon as the weather cooperates. We're working with Dennis McKelvey out there and his crew that's putting together. They're going to build put the posts together and then paint them and all that kind of stuff. So we should have those ready to go as soon as the weather cooperates.
The one concern that he did express to me was that and then they're having the cages made for the concrete bases up in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
That none of that would probably be here till the 1st of June, and they would have to sit for about 2 weeks before you could mount anything to it. And depending on the weather, whether we could even get trucks back there, ideally it would be best to come in from the north where they've already planted crops. So possibly scoreboards may not be going in until fall. If we could use the fields this year, they'd probably be without scoreboards until fall.
I agree.
As it continues to rain.
Full irrigation is in place now, we haven't had to turn it on yet. Yeah,
How about you open the drainage?
yeah, that's the next.
9 inches of rain later.
It'll fill right up again.
2023 annual report.
So in your council packet is the state required December 31st, 2023 financial report. It's just, I need to present it to the board at this meeting and then we'll send it off to the state premier. So we just need approval.
Shall make a motion for the 2023 annual report. Lynn Johnson.
Second.
Motion by Schott and seconded to accept the 2023 annual report. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all fair side? Opposed? Approved. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills?
In honor of Troy Boone, who's not here tonight, I'll make a motion to authorize approval of payment of bills.
Second.
Motion by Seeley and seconded. Authorize payment of the bills. All fair side? Opposed? Approved. New business. Resolutions.
So we have two resolutions, one for a member, an esteemed member of our group that's present with us tonight, and one that's not here tonight, but hopefully he'll watch the video afterwards so he can enjoy it. So I'll read the resolutions, and then I will present them immediately afterwards. So, resolution of appreciation for Council Member Troy Boone, who's in Utah after his 70.3 half Ironman. Whereas for 7 years, Troy Boone faithfully served as a member of Beresford City Council, and whereas during his tenure on the council, his fellow council members selected him to serve as council vice president, and whereas Council Member Boone gave up a tremendous amount of his own time to serve on many council committees, and whereas while Council Member Boone's presence will be missed, he will forever be a friend of the city of Beresford. Now, therefore, it will be resolved that the city of Beresford Council extends a heartfelt and sincere appreciation for Council Member Boone's dedicated service representing the citizens of Beresford. Be it further resolved that this resolution will be made part of the permanent record of the city of Beresford, adopted on the 6th day of May 2024. So, resolution for Mayor Boone. All right, and finally, the last.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, motion to approve that resolution?
Just so we get the minutes.
They died due to
If there was a split vote, I could go.
well, let's do it.
Because he's gone.
Shot makes a motion, resolution 2024-09, resolution of appreciation for Councilmember Troy Boone.
Second.
Motion by Schott and seconded to consider resolution 2024-09. For discussion. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
No opposition? All right, and finally, the last item of business for our proceeding council before we adjourn and seat the new council is a resolution 2024-10, a resolution of appreciation for Mayor Nathan Anderson. Whereas for 6 years, Nathan Anderson has honorably served as in the office of Mayor of the City of Beresford, and whereas Nathan Anderson has actively promoted the City of Beresford business growth and expansion and overall growth of the city. Whereas Mayor Nathan Anderson has given up a tremendous amount of his own time and to serve, whereas Mayor Anderson, his presence will be missed, he will forever be a friend of the City of Beresford. Now therefore be resolved that the City of Beresford, South Dakota does hereby recognize and express its appreciation to Nathan Anderson for his service of the City of Beresford and its citizens serving the office of mayor. Be it further resolved that this resolution will be made part of the permanent record of the City of Beresford, adopted at the City of Beresford, South Dakota, May 6, 2024.
Shall make a motion, resolution 2024-10, a resolution of appreciation for Mayor Nathan Anderson.
Second.
Motion by Schott and seconded to consider resolution 2024-10. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. No further business for the council. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Mayor.
Recess for 30 seconds. Oh, that was quick.
Well done.
We miss you.
There's a key.
It's like
And you take care of her.
So don't sit on your name when I'm sorry.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Eli Seeley,
I, Eli Seeley,
having been appointed to the office of mayor
having been appointed to the office of mayor
within and for said city of Beresford,
within and for said city of Beresford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
that I will support the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all the duties of my said office
perform all the duties of my said office
as mayor provided by law.
as mayor provided by law.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Your certificate of election. And then
Then I'll need-
Elaine will have you sign the oath. You three get to go at once.
All three at once.
All three at once.
Well, essentially, efficient.
We're all gonna say my name.
I think that every time I do this. So, okay, swear you in. I state your name.
I, Michael Deal,
Having been elected to the office
having been elected to the office
of council member
of council member
within and for said ward, whichever ward,
within Ward 2, Ward 3,
city of Beresford,
city of Beresford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
that I will support the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all the duties of my said office
perform all the duties of my said office
of council member as provided by law.
as council member provided by law.
Congratulations, John. Thank you. Certificates of election. And then we're gonna have you sign these oaths, so then it's got the marks of record. Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks, Ethan. See ya. Congratulations, Mike. Thank you.
Everybody left?
The new council has officially been seated, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll do a roll call.
Mayor Eli Seeley,
President.
Pat Pickett,
Present.
Will Wilkie. Here. Larry Rohr.
Here.
Art Schott.
Here.
Mike Keeman.
Here.
I'll go ahead and make entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as written.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda. Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the agenda has been adopted. So we have several items of new business.
Wait, were we supposed to have that?
Yeah.
Hold that.
TLC conference here.
Can we modify? Okay. I'll entertain a modified,
I propose that we modify the agenda with the additional travel request.
TLC conference, which is telephone operations.
The TOC conference for Austin and Tony and Marcus.
all right, so we've got a modified agenda on the table. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? Anybody opposed? All right, motion will be approved. The agenda will be approved. New business. We get to start with the fun stuff, and then we'll move into some of the some other business items. First and foremost, nominations for president of Beresford City Council.
Nominates Larry for the president.
Great nomination.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, and it has been seconded. Are there any other nominations for president of Beresford City Council? Any other further discussion? All right, all those in favor of Mr. Larry Roy as the president of Beresford City Council, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Roy.
Don't miss a meeting.
Nominations for vice president of Beresford City Council. All right, so in the absence of if I'm absent, if the president's absent, then the vice president will serve. So, any nominations for vice president of Beresford City Council?
Shot makes a motion for vice president for Mike T.
Second.
Got a motion on the table for Mr. Tiedemann as the vice president of Beresford City Council. Any further discussion?
Yeah, it's surprising how often I have in meetings as vice president. Just want to point that out there.
Doing a great job.
All right, any further discussion? Any other nominations? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Tiedemann, Vice President. All right, third item on the agenda is mayoral appointments. I took an opportunity to meet with the mayoral advisory committee, the two members that are currently on the council. Mr. Boone is still in Utah, and so there's several appointments, 3 pages worth of appointments. What I'm going to do is just work through them, and then as we have different line items, we can talk about those. We have updated the mayor, the council members, president, vice president of council, the department heads. Do we need to make a separate motion, Tom, for each one of the department heads, or do we approve that as?
You can do that as a.
As a blanket?
Yeah. Oh, department, yeah.
Let's do those.
City attorney. Okay. Just the city attorney.
And building
Just those two? Okay.
Oh, and building inspectors are appointed officers. Chief of police, or chief of police.
Those have to be done separately.
And the one that will remain open is probably part of the same group as the code enforcement. Is that correct?
What's that?
The code enforcement, as of right now, that will remain open, but we are looking at
Correct.
options there.
Yes.
Okay. So we can entertain a motion to approve city attorney, finance officer, building inspector, chief of police.
Make a motion to retain the same people in those positions that we previously had.
Shot second.
All right. We have a motion and a second for retaining the 4 that we've named into those positions. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, as we work through this, library board, formerly it was Mr. Troy Boone. Jane's here in attendance. Do we have any nominees to serve on the library board? I have a name written down. I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to influence anything.
I nominate Park Shot.
Great nomination.
I'm looking forward to it, Jane.
You've been on there before, so you know
Well, you're still on the board of directors for the state. So.
You can do them all at once.
Yeah, once we get everyone figured out. we'll
Just do them all as one
Okay.
motion.
Okay, so library board, we got a nomination from Mr. Schott. Planning and zoning, Brad Muller's tenure ends in June. I would assume we'll visit with him to see if he wants to continue to serve, to reset his
5-year.
tenure. Housing Redevelopment Commission, Tom is also in the same position as Brad, where he's ending his term. We'll have to determine if he's interested in continuing to serve. Bedco Board of Directors, Mr. Doug Allardings is at the end of his term. We'll need to determine if he is interested in continuing to serve. Council representative for Beresford Economic Development Corporation is Mr. Larry Rohr. And then as the mayor, I will also be a member of that of Bedco. Ex officio board member for Bedco, obviously our city administrator, city attorney, First Savings, and then First Dakota. Those will remain the same. Beresford Cablevision, everybody remains the same. There's four named president, Mr. Rohr, vice president Art Schott, treasurer Elaine Johnson, and secretary Kathy.
They'll actually have an annual meeting, is that in August, do you think? Supposed to be May.
We try.
At
The next-
some point during the year,
Yeah.
Beresford Cable would have an annual meeting, and then they re-up the officers at that time, so.
Sounds like plenty.
All right, so annual appointments, by mayor, approved by city council. Okay, so we talked about city attorney, finance officer, building inspector, will leave code enforcement open. Buildings and insurance. My recommendation is Mr. Art Schott, Mr. Pat Bickett, and Mr. Mike Tiedemann. Mr. Bickett has expertise in civil engineering. I think that would be a valuable one. Mr. Tiedemann, I think you understand some of the ways that construction best practices, et cetera. So, finance and utilities. Seeley rotates off. Rohr and Tiedemann will continue, and then Mr. Bickett also with finance and utilities. Mayoral advisory. Mr. Boone rotates off. Will Rolke will continue. Mr. Larry Rohr will continue. And then the Ward 3 appointee, which we will discuss later on the agenda, will assume that position. Tom, will I be able to make that as just a designated spot for that new person?
Sure.
Okay. Parks, schools, recreation, and education. Not to be confused with community education. Mr. Rohr, Mr. Tiedemann continue to serve, and then the Ward 3 representative will also be an appointee there. All right, policy procedure. Mr. Will Rolke, Mr. Mike Tiedemann, and Mr. Larry Rohr. Public safety, Mr. Rolke, Mr. Schott, and Mr. Tiedemann. Public works, Mr. Rolke, Mr. Schott, and Mr. Bickett. Library board, we talked about Mr. Schott. Community bus board, Will Rolke expressed that he's very excited about that. Community education, Mr. Larry Rohr is serving, and then the new Ward 3 appointee will also be asked to serve on community education. The emergency manager, currently Tars Mullenix. One thing I want to review, but we'll make the recommendation that Tars continues to serve in that role, is does Tars have the current FEMA training skill set that is required by that role, which my assumption is he does. So, the health officer, although I did have to pull teeth, I am going to recommend Suzanne Merrigan be named the health officer. This again is a volunteer role, serve in the capacity of the job that I developed last year in lieu of just designating the Sanford Clinic. In addition to having Suzanne serve as the health officer, I will also in the next few weeks or month be making a recommendation to create a public health council, which would be a 3-member volunteer panel that can support Suzanne in that role to make sure that the role doesn't become overwhelming. On the public health council, I would ask that we have some folks that are specialized in geriatric care, community-based care, public health. We'll bring some experts to the table there so that we can work towards some of our goals with health. And then the last one, Lewis and Clark Regional Water Board, Mr. Jeff Outright. Good work is rewarded with more work. So, so that's the end. Any discussion? Let's see if we have a motion first, second, and then we will hold open discussion.
Shall make a motion.
The mayor, appointments.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second. Further discussion? Anything that needs to be potentially modified or appointments that, yeah, Mike, you heard your name a lot. You know, if you feel like you're on one too many committee,
That's all right.
those of you that have experience, I think that's been the best interest of the city to retain that. And so if we find that in the course of the year, if there's something that you want to roll off of, can we make mid-stride adjustments? Okay.
The extra money is always nice.
What's that?
The extra money is always nice.
The overtime? Yes, sir. Yep. And Pat, I did, because of your background, I did put you on a few extra committees, but I knew as a civil engineer, you would probably have you got the skill set, so.
Could we get a printout of all the committees by the next meeting? Or,
What I'll do is I'll make sure I sit down with the Brain Trust and we get all this documented, and I think we've got it right here, so. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the mayoral appointments as I listed, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, fantastic. Next item on the agenda is the Fiber Ring Revenue Pooling Association, FERPA, request for funding investment. Mr. Austin Hansen's here to discuss that.
Yeah, so we currently have a piece of equipment in our network that needs to be upgraded, and that piece of equipment is part of fiber network that runs throughout the state that is overseen by FERPA, or Fiber Ring Revenue Pooling Association. And SDN is the administrator of that organization and reached out to me last year. You guys that were on the council previously probably remember this during budget time. There was $183,000 or $185,000 investment that they want us to make for that. Very important piece of equipment. Our core internet routers plug into that. Our internet flows through there. Our toll traffic flows through there. 911 calls all flow through this. And so just looking approval to move forward with this to get this upgraded. The reason for the upgrade is the equipment that's in there is end of life. So soon it will be not supported by the vendor anymore. And then also the bandwidth requirements that are coming up. The current equipment cannot provide that bandwidth that is necessary in Beresford and other parts of the way. So you see in the packet, we do get compensated for the investment. First 5 years, we receive 30% of our investment back, and that what that does, it helps cover like power and labor that we have to do, things like that, our rack space. And then after that 5 years is up, we receive 6% annually on that until that equipment is decommissioned. So, I met with Tom and Jerry due to the amount of money and not really being able to bid this out. So, I don't know, Tom, if you want to touch base on that a little bit.
And typically, when you're buying something such as this, if you're over $100,000, you'd have to put it out for public bids. There's no competitive bidding really for this because it's specialized equipment that has to integrate with the fiber ring the SDN has in place. So they actually go in, either bid or negotiate the pricing of all of the equipment that's going through a number of telephone systems. So to make sure all of that's integrated, there's really no other source or supplier of the equipment. So that's an exception to the public bid laws that we do need to have you specify in the minutes and specify that it is the sole source for the equipment. And then once the bill comes from that, a copy of the findings of the council that it is sole source would be placed with that in the contract folder, so when the auditors come, they see why it wasn't put out for public bids.
John, I spoke to Fiber Ring Revenue Pooling Association at our RFPA request for funding and investment as stated by the department head and as stated by Tom Friedrich, city attorney.
And I think if you'd add to that, Art, that it's a sole source procurement pursuant to SDCL 5-18A-8. I think that was part of your motion, was it not?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
That's
Second.
All right, motion and second on the table for the request for funding, sole source. Any further discussion?
One quick question, Austin, what's the lifespan? Is this,
I have to look back, but I know they call it a lifetime chassis that they're putting in there right now. Now, that could mean a number of things. I know we had some equipment that had lifetime warranty, but it was 7 years. You know, so I would have to check with SDN on that and see exactly what that they're expecting out of it. You know, we've had some in place that was from 2012 that was just recently retired last year. So 7-10 years typically, somewhere in there.
okay, see you in a decade.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how the bandwidth requirements of it continues to meet that. So,
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of the FERPA request, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Next line item, hire additional lifeguards for the swimming pool.
In your packet there, we've got 4 additional lifeguard hires. We're happy we had some more kids come forward. We've got a couple that are second years too. So Addison Hanson, Cassandra Tweed, and Alex Sorensen are all going to be second-year lifeguards, $15.17 an hour. And Reese Olson, this will be her first year, just going to do some subbing for us at $14.76 an hour. So we'd like a motion to hire all 4 of those kids this summer.
I move the hiring of the new lifeguard as listed.
Second.
Motion and second are on the table. Any further discussion? One thing we talked a little bit about is plussing up their staff to potentially account for the fact that we don't have someone to run the concession stand yet, and then some strategies on what we could potentially do to at least have it open for short periods of time.
You might have some contact today with somebody that might be interested in running it, so we'll kind of play that one for a little bit to see. But these people would probably do a pretty good job with it. They've done this kind of business for a while. So,
did we provide any seed money for the group last year?
we pay for their insurance.
Okay.
This particular one wouldn't require any because they already carry it for the business that they run. So we'll have some more information on that by the next meeting. So otherwise, yeah, we would. Looking at the other option would be the city just taking with our pool attendants taking turns in there. So
You feel pretty confident now that, I know there was some concerns of not having enough staff that might miss some times, but feel pretty comfortable now to be able to hold schedule?
yeah, good.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, next line item on the business. Next line item on the agenda. Mr. Golf Car Inc. 3-year contracts.
We've been working with these guys for quite some time. I don't know, probably as long as we've been in the golf business. But this year we got a proposal we got 30 brand new 2024 Easy Goals. We're gonna get we pay them $4,350 for 6 months. Sometimes we carry them into 7-8 months that we use them. So it's a pretty good deal. They work with us real good. $26,100 will be the total cost of the lease agreement. So with a 3-year lease, I like to notify the city council before we actually send it off to them. So I'm just asking you guys to approve that lease, and it's pretty well worded in that agreement there. So I did see the cars going out around, so I'm assuming they're already here. So.
Yeah.
They are here.
Okay.
That would be great when you see.
Shall makes motion, Mr. Golf Cart Inc. 3-year contract for 30 cards as Jerry Simon stated on the payment.
Second.
Motion and a second are on the table. Any further discussion?
I do know that people like them.
Yeah.
People that are using them, so they like them.
But they're not a lot.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Part-time hire for the libraries. Morning.
Okay, originally I wasn't really planning to hire anybody, but one of my staff needs to have surgery in 2 weeks, and she'll probably be out anywhere from, just depends, 2 to 6 weeks, maybe coming back part-time. After after a couple weeks, depends how she feels. But anyway, so just want to hire part-time person, probably. I'm thinking about 3 days a week, help with summer reading and all of our programs, and dusting, putting away books, and doing some of the things. Because the one that's going to have surgery is like my 32-hour employee. So.
Do you have anybody in mind? Do you have anybody in mind?
I have had just a couple kids inquire, so of course when they inquired, I said I did not think I was going to be hiring, so I will let them know that we are going to hire somebody and see if they're interested. Otherwise, if you guys know of anyone that's interested.
So we just make a motion on part-time hire?
No. Once you bring some.
Yeah, I'll bring the name back.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know for sure where we'd be at when Jane wanted to be on the agenda, so we'll just talk about it first and see what happens.
Yeah, and I really just found out Friday, so.
Good luck.
Anything else, sir? Thanks, Jane. Right, next line item on the agenda, authorize advertising for a new park golf maintenance building.
Yeah, we finally got to that point. I got a complete set of plans over here, and the guys have been working pretty hard to put all that information together, and we got it reviewed by a building inspector and quite a few other people. So if you guys want to take a look at it, there's a set of plans there. I think it'll work pretty good for the guys. They're excited about it. We'd like to go ahead and start advertising. We're going to give them until June 13th to get the bids back in. That'll give us, we'll advertise next week and the week after, and then hopefully we get the word out. We'll get some good bids on that thing. So,
What location did we finally settle on?
it'll be south of the guard shed.
And we feel that's the best spot for it yet.
I think so. That's where the water and sewer are coming from. So when the road gets built there.
Because I think we mentioned at one time putting it up by the baseball field and then putting bathrooms in this. Because we're gonna need new bathrooms out there eventually anyway. Is that something we could consider?
On the new baseball field.
No. The baseball field.
Would that take up a lot of space back there?
It would.
I think only once you're tearing it, take out the driving range or something like that. What do you think, Jeff? I mean, is that?
I talked to those guys, and that's what they wanted to do.
They want to do that there?
Well, that's what they did. I was picked up 3 weeks ago. They were still talking about that.
They've never told me that at all, so it's news to me.
And I had mentioned about the cart shed, and they still thought that they could get rid of that cabin that they got, and that part of the driving range wouldn't be affected. That's what I got out of it. You'll need to talk to those guys.
What about the Runners Point? Does that go away then, or how does that, you're supposed to avoid that?
Kelly didn't think that was going to be an issue.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic in and out of that, and with baseball games going on and all that equipment moving in and around. Well, the kids, I guess I would be against it, but I guess that's up to those guys. The idea is to get it away from all the traffic.
How big a building is it?
It's 50 by 80.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's 16 foot tall, so it's gonna be a monster sitting out there compared to what you got right now.
So I just know those bathrooms are in really bad shape.
Yeah.
We need to replace them. I was wondering if we could roll it into this.
It's not in the plans at all to do that, so there's a bathroom in there just for the people that are using it.
Okay.
I guess we never even talked about that in the discussions I had with the other guys, so.
Wasn't there talk sometime of doing a bathroom concession combo with the Tiny Morrison Field?
I think so. I mean, one of the things we've identified is that there may be a drain issue in the left field. We have cooling water now. I don't know if he's-
That has been for.
Yeah. Just ask Jack's Fick Farm. He's ended up in the water about 3 times the last 2 games, sideways. But there's pooling water, so there may be a drain tile issue. In addition to that, our backstop, we talked about potentially modifying that. So if we started to wrap some of these investments together, but a combo like a prefab concession, and the concession there suits that field because it's relatively small. It suits it well, and it's actually right in front. So as a parent, you can do concessions and watch your child play. So most of the labor in the spring thus far has been volunteer labor, so that's a good thing. It's a win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know with that white building across the street, if we do move this building to south of the existing cart shed, then the Baseball Association might be interested, the upper level put some cages in there, they can do winter workouts versus trying to fight for space in a constrained environment. So, you know, Nathan's contention, of course, Nathan golfs a lot with his brother who hit the ball 400 yards. His contention was that a building south of the existing building might be kind of within that. Anybody that's got a little bit of a slice and hits the ball more than about 250 yards, they might be aiming at that shed, because some people already get up near the back end of the existing car shed. Nathan's contention was that maybe something to the west, then that would interfere with the cart traffic.
I dabbled in favor of that. He thinks that would take away from the look coming out of the back, like golf.
That's better.
It is, this can be a big tall building. So.
Should we table it until we figure